Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to look at our daily technical analysis update of oil and natural gas. We'll take a look and I'll give you my financial opinion. So here we go. This is crude oil. Again, we are just basically chopping sideways in a pattern. The pattern is still forming. I do think this will be a continuation pattern to the upside. And this fall here has gotten everybody kind of scared. I mean, not myself, but some people are scared. They're, oh my gosh, is the thesis still intact? The thesis is the thesis. Now we're just debating where we are in the thesis. And I think we're still very early, and I think we've got a long way to run to the upside in a lot of these areas. And I think that we're earlier in the movements than what most people think. Everyone thinks that we're just going to blow right to a recession, even though we really didn't spend any time in the expansionary phase of real estate building any homes. I still think we have 5 to 10 years left in a late stage business cycle. And we'll see what happens. But right now we're consolidating, and this happens, guys. This is the normal parts of the market. They consolidate and then they break. And you want to be in them before they break to the upside. And this one looks fantastic. Natural gas was in the consolidation period and it had broken to the upside. And it's better to be buying before the breakouts than after the breakouts. And we've talked about this breakout on the channel. You can go back and see my videos around late March on the oil and natural gas updates. And you can actually go and verify me saying, hey, we're breaking out. And this is what I would be buying. XOP, yeah, you know me. We're still getting a little bit of a pullback here. We still have this momentum here. These big 2 down days, lots of momentum coming down. This probably is going to come like this. It may come back down a little bit more before heading higher. Again, I think it's all buying opportunity and all this stuff. SM Energy, it's trying to find a bottom here. It's got some buyers and sellers going back and forth. We still have this momentum coming down, and then it reversed up, and we're kind of bouncing. We may come back down a little bit more before heading higher. Again, no one knows the path with 100% certainty, but if I was a sprinkler, I'd probably be doing some sprinkling. CDEV, another one that's got support. Looks like the buyers are coming in and sellers, they're dueling it back and forth. There is still this momentum coming back down on it. It's still there. And we'll see if we can reverse it. Crew Energy still looking fantastic, just kind of moving sideways. This is signaling that this company is a strong company. CPE, another one that's trying to get some contraction down here. It's starting to look a little bit better. We'll see if the buyers can come in here and reverse this. We've got Athabasca Oil, ATHOF, looking fantastic. That actually looks really strong. That is Athabasca. And if you've been on our website, you know my opinions about Athabasca. If you've been on the Finding Value website, Platinum membership. Looking at Recaf, just moving sideways a little bit. Again, this is starting to get higher lows and starting to come on up, so we'll see what happens there. CPG, another one that's right on support, looking quite good from that perspective. Northern Oil and Gas looks like it's trying to find some support, looking a lot better than it did these past couple of days. So that's looking a lot better. GTE's finding support right where it's at. That's looking better. Tellurian is also looking quite good compared to what it was in the past. So that's starting to turn around. Pedevco right on support. Oasis trying to find support right where it's at, and it looks like it's trying to find something. We'll see if the buyers step in there. Comstock Resources is remaining very resilient. I don't know if this has much left to go. We'll see. We might have a little bit more left to go to the downside, and that's all she writes. Natural gas has been really strong. Sandridge has continued to be strong. That one looks like it's trying to turn around. Ring Energy, that guy's been on support, so that's usually a good spot. Surge Energy moving sideways. That one's looking good. Tamarack Valley's moving slightly higher. Things are starting to turn around, guys, very slowly. Crescent Energy getting that full retest. That one's starting to look better. Vermilion Energy, another one it's got this little bit of, it might see a little bit more move sideways before heading higher. Meg Energy's looking quite good. That is sitting on top of its pattern. That looks quite interesting. Oil Services, another one. It's pulling on back a little bit. It's looking like it's contracting and trying to find some buyers. buyer, this doesn't have a reversal pattern yet, but it could reverse quite quickly. It could. TTI looks like it's trying to reverse, getting a little bit of buying pressure today, looking a lot better. Rig's starting to slow down its momentum. It might try to turn here, move on up. Pump also slowing its move down. We could see a move higher here at any time if the buyers decide to step in and really throttle it. It does look like they're trying to set this up where they're slowing it down, and then we'll see if the buyers step in and hit it. Valaris just moving sideways, but looks strong. We've got MMA offshore that looks strong. Tidewater is also looking like, there's still a lot of momentum here. You might come sideways, you might have one last little sell-off, and that's it. We got to see what happens next few days. And sometimes when they bounce like this, sometimes they can kind of get one last hurrah in there. And then it goes sideways for a little bit, and then we start heading higher. So, again, I've been slow to move. This guy looks like it's trying to slow down its move to sideways. Might have one last little blip before heading higher. CHX, they're all starting to slow down on all these guys. They're all slowing down. This is right at support for Cactus. That's good. 9 looks like that one looks pretty good to move on up. OII's getting a little bit of sideways motion there. Noble Energy moving sideways. Helix moving sideways, getting some buying pressure down there. We'll see if the buyers can push it higher. Again, I'll just state this. I'm in these companies and I'm not selling anything, and they all look good to me. This one's coming on up, higher lows. Looks fantastic. Petrofax, another one that looks good. It's broken out of its downtrend line. If you've just been cost averaging in all over the place, you're probably doing quite well. LaCoy Global's trying to find a little bit of support right where it's at, and Diamond Offshore's heading on up. That one also looks decent. And then coal looks like it's really tearing it up. I'll just maybe look at BTU real quick. We could see another kind of last move lower in this, because usually what happens is you get this large sell-off, it kind of fights its way up, and then it kind of comes back down a little bit more. So I've been slow to jump into any of these. NRP looks really good. That's in a good spot. Our coal, we'll see where that goes. That's getting all over the place. Again, these have had monster runs, guys, and I don't know if I'd be buying way up here in some of these. But that's the overall sector there. It looks actually like it's trying to turn around. The buyers have to step in and push it higher for me to be convinced that this is a bottom yet. Do what you want to do. If you want to sprinkle, that's up to you guys. It's game on. If in my book, I don't have anything against sprinkling and getting some shares, but yeah, it looks good, and we'll see if the buyers step in and push it higher. The overall big trend looks good. Is when I say something looks good. A lot of people, what they literally take it is, oh, it's gone down 20 or 30%. That looks good. No, what I mean by looking good, the big trend is intact. The big trend is what I worry about. I don't worry about the day-to-day movements. And I know a lot of people, they worry about the day-to-day movements. They see a 20 or 30% pullback and they're like, oh my goodness, the thesis is done. It's not working. It's like, guys, the thesis is all intact. The big trend is what I worry about. The big trend, higher lows, higher highs, continuing to move higher. It's all intact. It's all there. So don't worry too much. And on these pullbacks, if you want to make money, you got to buy the pullbacks. You don't buy the rips. You buy the pullbacks. You sprinkle money in. You cost average in. We could see a little bit more downside if the sellers still want to push it a little bit lower in some of these companies. It could still exist, but the name of the game is to not try to buy everything in one shot. You cost average in a little bit. You keep cost averaging in and get the whole pullback. So if you've got $1,000 that you want to deploy, maybe buy $100. Buy $100, buy $100, buy it 10 times as it comes on down real slow, and maybe buy into strength too. And if you see a good pattern, maybe you deploy a little bit more at that time. So it just depends on how you want to enter this and what exposure you want. And I'll buy some more here because it's starting to look good in some of the companies. So, maybe I'll sprinkle a little bit in. I'm kind of running out of money in some stuff because I keep wanting to buy physical metals, but yeah, the pullback does look good for those who are underexposed. And maybe I'll put my opinion on what companies I'd be loading up on the website. If you're a platinum member, you get to see that. I'll put that on the website. of which ones that I would be purchasing. I'll do my midweek update because it is Wednesday, and I'll put that out for everyone to see that are Platinum members on the website. All right, guys, thumb up for the content, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.